Hey everyone, it's Ryan here. So this is the first of 4 videos I'm recording. I'm going to try and put them up in, well, basically after I've done them all and before I go to bed. That way I'm not too fussed about the internet going out whilst I'm uploading videos. So this first video is my reaction to NXT Takeover 31, which just happened a couple of hours ago. Started at midnight, finished at 2:30. I'm just going to get the card up because I've got the card saved on my phone. Obviously, I'm using my phone to record, so that's helpful. There was 5 matches. I think 4 titles on the line, if I remember correctly. So the first match was Damian Priest versus Johnny Gargano for the NXT North American Championship. Very good opener here. A lot of back and forth. I believe Gargano is trying to work the arm just so he can basically use his Gargano escape on him. Like I said, it's very back and forth. It was all like the opening match. I was sort of talking with my wrestling friends a bit more, sort of paying attention to it. I was on my Xbox as well. There's a moment where Damian Priest dives to the outside and Gargano grabs a crew member and there just happens to be another one behind him. So he ends up colliding into those two, sort of similar to Undertaker doing the outside dive and Shawn Michaels pulling the cameraman in the way. So basically, whilst they're being attended to and Damian Priest is sort of looking at the incident as well, Johnny Gargano hits him with a low blow from behind, throws him into the ring, hits him with a finisher. I think it's like his DDT, draping DDT that he does. Priest still manages to kick out. Gargano at one point, like towards the end of the match, starts getting like a flurry of offense in. He goes for another of the slingshot DDT. Damian Priest stops him and grabs him backwards in the rope, hits the I'm going to call it crossroads. I forgot what they've called it for Damian Priest, but essentially it's the crossroads where it's like you've got them from their head like that and you basically rotate with them. So he retains the title. No involvement from Candice LeRae, so that sort of got me to suspect that Gargano was going to get involved in Candice LeRae's title match. The next match, Kushida versus Velveteen Dream. Going into this one, I think everyone wanted Kushida to beat Velveteen Dream, considering what's come out recently about Velveteen Dream. Still a bit surprising that he's still on TV, but I think with what they did in this match, hopefully writes him off for a while, if not for good. I used to be a fan of Velveteen Dream, but ever since what came out a month ago, it's gone. I won't go into details. Basically, look it up. It's sort of, I guess, part of the speaking out stuff. I don't know if it was like added to the speaking out stuff, but it's sort of like a slightly different incident to them. But I wouldn't say it's more serious because both of them are very serious incidents, but this one's a bit more like it's the next level up of doing something bad, shall we say. But essentially Kushida has been working the arm of Velveteen Dream for ages. Velveteen Dream hits a purple Rainmaker, but with the elbow, hurts his arm. Kushida gets an arm lock in. Velveteen Dream manages to counter into the rolling move that he does. I keep forgetting his moves. But essentially, whilst he's doing that, Kushida's still got his arm. So as he rotates through, he basically locks it in a different position. Velveteen Dream taps immediately. So Kushida wins. Then Kushida goes to apply another arm bar on him. Refs have to get him off, and then he goes to leave, comes back in, applies a different arm bar on him. Basically wraps his legs around his arm as well. So I think they've tried to do it in a way that he's got like this serious arm injury, so he's going to be out for quite a few months. But yeah, good win for Kushida, showing his new side. I think he's meant to be the bad guy in this situation, but I think based on, again, Velveteen Dream's actions out of the ring, I think Kushida sort of became a face when it came to these two. Next match for the Cruiserweight Championship, Santos Escobar defends against Isaiah Swerve Scott. For the last two, I had Priest and Kushida to win, so I'm 2 for 2 so far. This one I had Santos Escobar to retain because he's doing very well, being Cruiserweight Champion, having his 2 like extra bodies, I guess like bodyguards or something. Yeah, I'm trying to think what his entourage essentially. Like they were kept in the back for the match. again, very back and forth. This match had a lot of moments where we thought, oh, Swerve could actually win, or oh, Santos is going to retain, and there was a lot of good. Look, there wasn't too many kickouts, but there was a lot of decent ones. Where you think, oh, well, that's his finisher, so he's going to win. That turns out it doesn't. Eventually, Raul Mendoza and Joaquin Wild, Jackin Wild, however you say his name, who are Escobar's mercenaries or whatever, basically come out and attack Swerve whilst the referee is down. And then, I can't remember what his name is. It's something Adonis. I haven't watched too much NXT to figure out much about him, but he came out and basically fended off Mendoza and Wild. So it goes back to just Swerve and Escobar. Escobar hits his finisher. So there's me thinking that he's going to win. Swerve kicks out, goes on for another 2 minutes. The finish sort of confused me a bit. So basically what happens is they're on the apron. Swerve goes for a move. Escobar counters it, and he pushes Swerve. And either he's meant to hit his head on the turnbuckle, or he's meant to hit his head on the post. But the way he sort of landed, sort of like he just fell near the apron, and they're basically selling it like he's hit the back of his head majorly. So my guess it was meant to be like so on the turnbuckles you got the pad, but then there's that little bit of metal like the rod, and there's a little ring around it, so he's meant to hit his head on that. Escobar drags him in the ring, hits his finisher, which I think they slightly messed up. So basically he holds him upside down like that, and then he drops him on his knee. But I think from the angle we got, he didn't really hit him on the knee, so just dropped him onto the mat. It didn't look great. But Escobar then retains, so now I'm 3 for 3. Io Shirai then defends her NXT Women's Championship against Candice LeRae. I went for Candice LeRae to win this one because I thought if Gargano wasn't going to win, then he was going to help LeRae win in this one. And he almost does. A bit later in the match, something happens to the ref. So he's not fully down, but like he's took a hit to the eye or something. So basically he sort of just crouched down whilst they're still fighting for a minute or so. LeRae then hits Shirai with a move, and Shirai flies into the referee. So the referee gets launched out the ring. Whilst that's happened, Gargano comes running out in a striped shirt. We think he's put the shirt on inside out, like it's meant to have the symbol for NXT saying he's a referee. Is one of the things that bugs me is a referee puts a shirt on, a wrestler puts a referee shirt on and suddenly they're now a referee. Doesn't make any sense. Because basically anyone could just be, like one of the wrestlers could just put a referee shirt on and then basically whilst pinning him and just go 1, 2, 3. So to me it makes no sense, but for the sake of this, I'll let it slide. He comes in, tries to fast count when Candice LeRae's in the ring. Shirai kicks out. The referee gets back up when Gargano's got the women's title. He puts it behind him. I think he drops it on the floor or gives it to LeRae. Basically he's in the corner with the ref, and basically he's taking the shirt off. Goes, oh, I'm sorry, you were knocked down, so I thought I'd come help. Blah blah blah. Whilst that's happening, LeRae then hits Shirai with the title. And then the referee turns around and counts the fall, but Shirai kicks out. So then Gargano goes on to full, whingy heel moments, sort of what Cody used to do for a while. Christian was known for doing it in 99, 2000, where basically they just roll around on the floor, hitting the floor like they're 2 years old, not getting their way essentially. Eventually Shirai manages to get LeRae down onto the mat, hit her with a moonsault for the win. So I didn't get that one right. Sort of surprised me that Shirai retained, but the reason for that is after they do the replays, they cut to the Titantron on the side of the ring rather than at the front, and Toni Storm shows up, and she basically says that she's back on NXT. She's wearing this basically black leather outfit, black do-rag. She puts sunglasses on, and I'm there thinking, oh, she's this biker thing that they've been advertising for a couple of weeks. Turns out it's not her. So basically what they do is after they do that, they then cut to the person on the bike. So I'm there thinking, well, it's got to be Toni Storm then, because if they're just showing her, then they drive, the biker basically drives around the building, gets to a certain entrance, comes onto the entrance ramp, and Shirai's looking at her, and I'm thinking, well, it seems a bit stupid. If you've just shown Toni Storm, it's not going to be a big surprise when she takes it off, only to find out it's Ember Moon. And that's a lovely surprise, because we thought that she might have had to retire because of her injuries. I'm sure someone brought it up about half a year ago, saying that with the seriousness of Ember Moon's injury that she would probably have to consider retirement. But it's nice to see her back. Nice to see that she could probably actually get back into wrestling. I think on NXT, definitely much better than the main roster. Her main roster run was not good. She had a couple of title matches, but the main one was overshadowed by Evolution, I'll be honest. Because, I think it was for SummerSlam more than Evolution. So she was meant to have a title match against Bayley at SummerSlam, but Bayley was so focused on Trish that Ember Moon felt like an afterthought, and then people sort of just lost interest in her, and then from there she got injured and nothing really went well. Not to mention her rubbish feud with Sonya and Mandy over them throwing a switch on the ground and she screams at them. So that was good. But I think in NXT they could revitalise her. They're definitely doing that with Finn Balor, so I can't see why Ember Moon won't be able to revitalise her career, maybe get another title reign. Speaking of Finn, the final match is Finn Balor defending the NXT Championship against Kyle O'Reilly. Turns out this one went for almost half an hour, and to be honest, it didn't feel like half an hour like that, but for a good reason. Like, it was such a technical and just like lovely flowing match that it didn't feel like it was dragging at all. The story to this one is Kyle O'Reilly won a gauntlet match to earn the right to face Finn Balor for the title, so it's his very first NXT title match in the, I think, 3 or 4 years he's been there now. And basically Finn Balor is like saying Kyle O'Reilly's got that great underdog story. You know, he's come from the like independent circuit just like Finn did. Basically people can believe in him because he sort of relates to the people. And there's that 99 out of 100 times he'll go for Kyle O'Reilly, but Finn basically refers to himself. He goes, "But I'm that one where you don't win, and that's going to happen tonight." Like I said, it's a really good match. They're each going for like certain parts of each other. So Finn Balor is primarily aiming for Kyle O'Reilly's ribs for the stomps and the coup de grace, and Kyle O'Reilly is going for Finn Balor's arm, because I think his finish is like the Fujiwara armbar or something. Don't quote me on that. I haven't watched too many matches where I can remember Kyle O'Reilly putting the submission finisher on. I know it's some type of arm submission. But yeah, like I said, this was a very good match, very back and forth. If I remember correctly, there isn't a ref bump in this one, which was nice. I think there was only 2 on the night. But yeah, like I said, very back and forth. A lot of moments where Kyle O'Reilly could have won. Eventually, it comes down to his ribs sort of giving out on him. There's a lovely moment where Kyle O'Reilly hits a German suplex, and from that, Finn then counters into a double stomp. He eventually hits the coup de grace and gets the pin, and at some point halfway through the match, Kyle O'Reilly starts bleeding from his mouth, because I think he basically takes a shot in the mouth and basically it's like bleeding a bit. You see it on the side of his face. After, like, I think it's during like a knee before the German suplex, or like as he's hit the coup de grace, suddenly Finn's mouth starts bleeding, and like quite a bit. Like, it goes from, you see like the red outline from where the blood is, to suddenly it's leaking out of his mouth, and then leaking even more, and then by the time you get up, it's like it's literally all over his chin. Nice thing was, after the match, Finn Balor basically goes to Kyle O'Reilly, picks him up as a sign of respect. Kyle basically goes to lift his arm, and as he's doing that, in the crowd is Ridge Holland. I basically had to ask my wrestling friend who it was, because I hadn't really seen Ridge Holland that much. And it turns out he's got Adam Cole on his shoulders. Like, literally, he's beat the crap out of him. He's holding him, drops him over the barricade onto the to the side of the ring. Strong and Fish come out to basically look after Adam Cole, basically ask for a medic, ask him where the guy's gone, because by the time he's gone down, he's already gone. So basically that's how it ends, is literally, why has Ridge Holland attacked Adam Cole? What's going to be the repercussions of this? So it's a lovely way to end the show. Basically gives you a reason to tune into NXT. Yeah, I really enjoyed the show. Like, all the matches were very solid. Don't think there was any like majorly botchy or messy moments in there. Like, each match had a good story, was a decent length. They literally range from 13 to like, essentially the main event was just under half an hour. The shortest match was just under 15 minutes. Everything else was about 15 to 18 minutes. So it wasn't too bad. Like I said, 2.5 hour show for 5 matches. It's not too bad. It's better than 4 hours for like an 8 match card, like the main show. But yeah, that's pretty much what I thought of NXT Takeover 31. I thought it was a very good show. I'm very excited to see what happens on NXT next. Whether it's Kyle O'Reilly that goes after Ridge Holland, or if it's Adam Cole, we'll see. Next competitor for Finn Balor, don't know. Again, we'll see what happens with Ridge Holland. But yeah, that's my review on NXT Takeover 31. Hope you liked the video, and I shall hopefully see you in the next one.